You know that nagging feeling you get when you're working hard, you're earning a good income, but you look at your finances and it feels like you're just stuck.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You check your account, you see your paycheck land, but the bottom line just doesn't seem to budge. If you've ever asked yourself, where on earth is all my money going? Well, you're in exactly the right place, because we're about to unmask the real culprit.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about, buying too many lattes. The source material for this explainer frames it in a pretty dramatic way. It says you are the victim of get this, a mathematical crime. A crime against your own future wealth that's happening right under your nose.
So what is this crime? Well, it all boils down to one core concept we have to get our heads around. Every single thing you buy doesn't just have one price tag. It actually has two. We all see the first one, but it's the second, hidden one that's doing the real damage.
Let's break this down. The first price tag, that's obvious. It's what you pay at the checkout. Simple enough. But that second price tag, that's where the real financial bleeding happens. It's the total cost of the space your stuff eats up, the money you have to spend maintaining it, the mental energy it drains from you, and, this is the big one, the opportunity cost of what else that money could have been doing. And spoiler alert, that second price is almost always way bigger than the first.
To really get a handle on this, we've got to dissect that second price tag. It's actually made up of 4 distinct, hidden costs that are secretly turning your possessions into liabilities. Let's start with the first one. It's a concept called hidden rent. Think about it for a second. You pay for every single square foot of your home, right? Whether it's rent or a mortgage. That means that every item you own is, in a way, paying you rent just for the privilege of taking up your space. And some of your things, they have a very, very high rent.
Let's take a classic example here, the treadmill. In a lot of cities, that floor space costs anywhere from $30 to $50 per square foot per year. Now, a treadmill, once you factor in the clearance around it, can easily take up 20 square feet. You do the math, and you could be paying up to $1,000 a year just to let that thing sit there.
And let's be real, for a lot of us, what is that $1,000 piece of real estate actually doing? It's the world's most expensive clothing rack, isn't it? That right there is hidden rent in action.
Okay, on to the second hidden cost. We'll call this one the maintenance tax. This is for anything that needs constant feeding long after you've bought it. I'm talking about things that need insurance, repairs, registration, or just general upkeep.
We're often taught to see things like boats or fancy cars as the symbols of success, but financially, a $30,000 boat can easily require $3,000. That's 10% of its value every single year. These aren't just assets, they're basically systems designed to train your bank account to just constantly bleed money.
And now for the third cost. And honestly, this one is the absolute killer. It is by far the most financially devastating of them all. Opportunity cost. Every single dollar you have tied up in something that's losing value is a dollar that isn't working for you in an investment that could be growing. Just imagine this. Say you spend $15,000 on a fancy home gym for your fantasy self, the super fit person you plan to be someday. That isn't just a $15,000 choice. If you had put that same money into a simple index fund, it could have grown to $50,000 over 15 years. You're trading actual, real future wealth for a fantasy in the present.
Okay, finally, we have the fourth hidden cost, and it's one we almost never think about, the mental cost. Your stuff doesn't just take up physical space, it takes up precious real estate in your head. And that mental load, well, it has a very real price.
I mean, there's actual research on this. Visual clutter has been shown to literally increase the stress hormone cortisol in our bodies. It steals our mental bandwidth, which leaves less energy for the important stuff like strategic thinking about our future. And the real irony? All that stress from our current stuff often makes us more likely to go out and buy more stuff just to feel better. It's a vicious cycle.
Okay, so that's the problem. And I know it might sound a bit bleak, but here's the good news. How do we fight back against this so-called mathematical crime? Well, the sources give us 2 incredibly simple but really powerful rules to take back control.
The first tool is the cost per use rule. This is so simple, but it is an absolute weapon against impulse buys. Before you buy anything, you just divide its price by the number of times you will honestly use it. This little bit of math instantly reveals an item's true cost to you. Just look at this comparison, it makes it so clear. A $400 quality jacket that you wear 200 times, the cost per use is just $2. That's a fantastic investment. But that trendy $300 kitchen gadget you use twice and then forget about? Whoa, that's costing you $150 every single time you pull it out. Ouch.
The second tool is called the replacement test. Now, this one is for all the stuff you already have cluttering up your home. You just walk around, look at an item, and ask yourself one simple, brutally honest question. If this thing just vanished right now, would I go out and spend my hard-earned money to buy it again?
And if the answer is no, well then you have to ask the really tough follow-up question, why is it still in your house? Why are you letting it act as a financial liability, stealing your space, your money, and your energy? Maybe it's time to let it go.
And you see, this all points to a much bigger idea. The goal isn't to own nothing and live in an empty room. Not at all. It's about being deliberate. It's about completely redefining our understanding of what wealth and success really look like. It's a shift away from acquiring possessions and toward acquiring freedom. And this just sums it all up perfectly. Real success, true wealth, it isn't measured by the pile of things you manage to accumulate. It's measured by the choices you have, the options you have, the freedom you have. And that freedom? It was purchased with every dollar you consciously decided not to spend on something you didn't truly need. Now that's something worth thinking about.